So hi everyone, today we are talking about the return on investment of different social media networks, websites, and platforms, because GooglePlus is kind of like a platform. And we have a few examples. One is the scientific method that Doc tried a few weeks ago, right Doc? You are muted. Doc, you need to unmute yourself.
Actually, we did it shortly after the public launch of GooglePlus.
Oh, perfect. And then I'm going to share a few examples from just today, like what happened in the last 48 hours, that show that the number of followers is not really as important as the engagement of the people in your stream. And that's it, and then we'll take questions. So let's start with Doc. Go ahead. Introduce yourself and let us know what you've done.
Well, I'm Doc Harvard. I'm the founder of 42WD Publishing, which is a community-sourced publishing company that deals with creatives of all sorts, whether they're comic artists or novelists or even in the music industry. It's really important for us, because of the way we do things, to have interaction and engagement. Every one of the products that we've built and are building are specifically designed based on what the community has told us. So as a result, we obviously need the absolute best social engagement that we can possibly get. Well, you know, we have GooglePlus was the new kid on the block at the time. Twitter had established following, LinkedIn established following, and Facebook. So we obviously wanted to know, being a startup, where we should dedicate the most of our social activities at. And me being the type of guy that I am, I need numbers. And so we hacked out a lot of things. The first thing we looked at was the like button. How does it translate into a sell? And for us, a sell isn't necessarily you buy something that we offer. A sell is something that translates into you absorb the information that we're sharing with you. It doesn't matter whether it's a how-to to do something or whether we're explaining a new product. The end result is that engagement, interactivity. So what's our best platform? Well, we actually have a document that we put together. We stripped out our end results. Going to paste it here in chat. Everybody has public access to it, and I'm also here real quick going to paste it into my stream for anyone who may be looking at it from the outside.
So can you also share your screen so the people on this Hangout can look at you while you're looking at the document?
Sure. Oh, actually, I should probably post this in the stream comment itself. Bear with me. Let me grab that back up. There you are. There is the we're currently discussing. Yeah, I'm one of those people that talks out loud when they type.
I always feel like, we're missing some background music here. Kind of like.
All right. Screen share. Okay, I'm going to put this on full screen so I can have a better look at it. If anybody can't see anything, feel free to give me a shout, because, well, actually, let me move you guys just the whole hangout.
This is good.
Different screen. There we go. So what you're looking at here is a stripped-down version of the information that we pulled back. And the main reason why it's stripped down is because some of the people that were kind enough to volunteer their accounts to give us equal footings of between 1,000 and 1,500 either followers, friends, whatever, so that we could equal the playing field on this test. They were kind enough to let us use their accounts, so we obviously aren't putting their accounts live for everybody to see. You can use this document if you want. Just make sure it's attributed correctly and you do not change anything, because then you mess up the data. So what we did was, there's always been a big argument about automation versus customization. Well, we figured we'd kill two birds with one stone. we created a standard message that went across Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, as well as Google+. As you can see, we have the results here. Now, this is a messy format. This is the way we were working with the data. We can scroll down a little bit, and it's much cleaner. So what we were tracking was 10 messages. They ranged from everything from, hey, we're opening up a new company, to be our friend, to here's some products that we're talking about, to what do you want to hear from us, and obviously, how can we help you? Like I said, they ranged across through there, and you can see we got some pretty staggering results. Twitter, even with its 140 character limit, come in second, with Google basically doubling that on the standard. You can see this right here. I'll go ahead and highlight this row, make it a little easier to see. Text background. We will make it something that doesn't blind everybody. How about a nice purple? There we go. So that's the total results right there. We'll make that blue again.
Yeah.
So some pretty staggering results there. Now, basically a side-by-side comparison here, we actually found, oddly enough, that our customized messages on Facebook resulted in a total of negative 14 responses. And that's what we were actually gauging on. We don't care about like, because like doesn't mean you actually care about us. Whether you make a comment, positive or negative, says that you took the time to engage with us, you took the time to be interactive with us, and you took the time, at least for that moment, to make us matter in your social life. So that's what all of these are measured on. As you can see, when it comes to standard versus custom, Twitter ruled on custom. We actually had on standard was our best option on there. And in LinkedIn, we actually had an increase on the custom as well. Now, something I'd like to note about LinkedIn, most of our responses on LinkedIn were how much are you paying people to help you and that type of thing. Unfortunately, there was very little adoption of our idea in LinkedIn. It was all about how are you going to hire us, how are you going to pay us, what services can we give you. So for us, while later on that'll be a viable outlet, it's not really worth our time because we're not trying to pay people, we're trying to facilitate people in getting their creative products out there. Now here's where the glory is, as I like to call it. On a standard prefab of 10 messages, there was a sum total of 1,105 responses across the board. As you can see, that's double on Twitter. There was 1,692 on a custom message on Google+. So, I mean, it's a clear winner for us. Google+ is our launching point for our social marketing and our social media. All our other social networks, as we bring them in, will be geared towards pushing us or pushing the people into that funnel, into that Google+ funnel, because it gives us just so much greater opportunity to get in there and find out what you actually like and what you actually care about as a creative. So that's the quick down and dirty rundown of it. If you're familiar with A/B testing, this is based on that principle. And if you're familiar with crowdsourcing, it's also based on that principle as well. We kind of combine things. We do a lot of combination testing and things like that to come up with these numbers.
So anyone here has a question for that before I go to the other example of number of followers versus interaction? You can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yeah, hey, this is Jim. So what's the bottom line? What's the bottom line of this study?
The bottom line is that, at least in our business model where interaction is key to success, is Google+ is the ruler. Is where we're going. We're all in with Google+. In fact, we currently don't have existence, from a business perspective, on any other site. And we will be launching those social existences based on these numbers. So Twitter will be up next. And to give you a little perspective of how powerful it is, our company LLC'd in October of last year. And we currently have, as a result of Google+, 5 authors that we're cultivating, 15 intellectual properties, and we have a rather large investor looking at a piece of our software, all as a direct result of GooglePlus.
And I think, we've seen what GooglePlus does for people. If we're just talking about Daria Mask, for example, or Trey Catleaf, in terms of taking their profile and their passion and just making it global and turning their passion into an income. So what I'll show you right now, I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show you why the number of followers is not as important as the number of interactions that you get from people. Basically, it's not as important as the quality of the people in your stream and whether they like what you're talking about and sharing what you're talking about. So I'll show you an example. This is in Facebook. This was this image, if you can see. Second, can you see it now? This image in Facebook was shared on a network of 52,000 people. On Facebook, it received 6 people liked it and 1 share, actually 2 shares. Bess, who's here on the call with us, shared it yesterday on her stream, and it received 36 shares and 11 comments, 25 plus ones. And this is with 407 people. So the ratio of the response is about 10% of people responded to this image, shared it, and commented on it. Now, in Facebook, we have 52,000 people. Nobody really cared. On GooglePlus, you have 400 people, and this image got shared and cared for. Another
I'm sold.
Another example is Brock today threw out an image this morning on the screen, and it had 730 shares. It actually made the What's Hot list. And if you're looking at Brock's followers, he has 10,660 followers. So if you do the ratio on that, you get about 7% shares. And so in my mind, what I take from this data is 50,000 people on Facebook, 407 people in GooglePlus got you 10%, and then 10,000 people got you 7%. So it's not really just the number of people that you have following you. I'm going to bring it back to me. It's not really the number of people that you have following you. It's more the quality of the people, and especially if you have like a sales message, if you want people to join, your mailing list or your club, or you want your message to be filtered, you really want people who resonate with what you resonate with, and they can talk about, they can add their 2 cents to whatever it is you care about and share it to their circles. And I think this is really important because if you have a passion, let's say music, let's take Daria, and Ryan is in Daria's circles, and Daria is sharing something that Ryan cares about, obviously the people that follow Ryan also care about music, so they will share Daria. So you get like this 7 degrees of sharing that you get in Google+, and the interaction and the engagement, and it seems to be that people care more about sharing here than they do in any other social network. So I think from a business point of view, where you invest your time more is a lot more beneficial in Google+, just from these little examples. And another really good thing that I take from it is that you don't have to have, like as a small business owner, you're just starting out on Google+, you don't really need to have 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers, 2 million followers like Trey has. All you have to have is really 500 people or 200 people that resonate with you, care about your message, and has a reach that you don't have. And that will get you out there. So when you're looking for Google+, any questions from me, for Doc, any comments about what you've just seen? We take them all. We open it up for discussions right now. Hey, Brock. I hear you. Yes. So Randy, do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about what type of analytics you have?
Sure. Well, we use all the different social media. It keeps me busy all day long. We probably have to keep up 20 different sites, and it's a lot of work for me. So, but I spend 90% of my time on GooglePlus, and I love it. I'm so glad it's around. It's more of our hub now. And 6 months from now, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. We don't get a ton of sales from it yet, but I really can't tell because I don't know who these people are that are coming to the website and purchasing from us. So, in the future, I hope there'll be a little bit better tracking and more ways to integrate our tracking. But as far as I know, it's been a great success for us. I made a lot of friends on Google+, and I get added into conversations all the time. Hey, Randy, come talk about metals. And I wasn't even in the conversation. People said, "Hey, Randy, come over and check in this one." I think that Google Plus is turning into the new Google. You don't even need to search anything anymore. You just find your professional in that niche and bring them into the conversation. So that's my little 2 cents.
That's actually really great because Sarah Hill was talking about how social is now not only in comments and sharing, but it's also this hangout, the face-to-face. And so people really like what she's doing. She's getting the news, half an hour before from everybody that jumps on her hangout. And she says that this is really changing social as a whole. And today we had a few testing. If you notice, Google now allows you to thank the person directly from search. So if I'm searching for something, and one of you recommended it, for example, I was looking for webinar services today, and Lynette plus one a link. So I know Lynette and I trust her professional opinion. I will definitely click on that link. But I also can, from search, thank her for saying that this link is valid. And now I can create a conversation directly with her about something that she plus one. So, and even more than that, which is kind of crazy, you can see the comments that were done on the post itself on search. So you can be privy to conversation happening in Google+, not even being in Google+, just directly from search. You can follow the conversation, you can circle the person, and you can plus one it, giving even more validity to everything that they said. So I think as a whole, Google+ is really changing to reflect social a lot more, and because of the engagement and the quality of the people that we have here, and even the hard data that Doc showed, it's really proving to be that this kind of the network will give you the most return on investment.
I could throw in a couple of points as a beginner person. I've just really been active on Google Plus for a couple of weeks now. I just finally took a day to learn it and got Yvonne's tips, and she taught me. And I've been on, let's see, well, anyway, I got about 400 followers on Google Plus in about a week. And at that rate, I'm going to pretty soon exceed what I have on Facebook, where I've been for 2 years. I see EFOT getting about 1,000 followers a week, just jumping on. I think it's accelerating. Another difference that I noticed between Facebook and Google Plus is on your personal profile on Facebook, there is a limit of 5,000 people that you can have on that. So everybody's trying to build their pages on Facebook, and I was too. I was directing everybody, to my page, to my page, to my page, because that's where it's unlimited. Whereas in Google Plus, I'm just sticking with my name and my personal profile and building that, and share. I'm a coach for network marketers in business and life, but I can incorporate all that from my Bess McCarty name. So that's another big difference that people might need to get used to when they're coming over. For those of you coaching people on Google Plus, they might still have a Facebook mindset when they come over. So they might, oh, that's a difference. I mean, where do I really want to put my focus?
Yvonne, I just wanted to jump in and say it's actually really, really interesting that in this type of an economy, people become very nostalgic. And Hangouts have actually given us the ability to return to face-to-face conversation. And, I know I've said it before to you about when we did the Hangouts in real life, and now that you've been to South by Southwest, you can understand that there's a certain familiarity, almost a familial bond with the people that you've been hanging out with. Some of us early adopters, I mean, I was in day 3, people that I went to New York with, they were like old family. We were so comfortable with everybody, and it is definitely a new way to do business. And I think, bottom line, one thing, real estate has location. It's engagement. Engage, engage, engage. Period.
I totally agree with you. One of the joyous moments actually for me in South by Southwest was when I got Daria's shirt and I asked her to sign it, and she knew how to spell my name. It made it so complicated. So, and that really, like you were saying, I think in terms of music, for example, we were talking about this before, where singers can connect directly. You don't need a middleman. But also, we know now that you can sing. Before, you had auto-tunes, and you had the studio, and you had all that stuff, and we followed people just because, the media said they're famous and they're great. And now we have, beautiful voices that are coming through this medium, right? And are changing everything that we do. For example, Randy now is an expert in metals. Without doing all that stuff, he's the expert in GooglePlus. Like Brett, who had a shirt that said, "I'm famous on the internet." And so, with that?
I was going to say, to add to that, I'm no superstar by any means. I'm not Daria, I'm not Sting, I'm not, any of the great metal groups or alternative groups or anything like that. But for those people who have had me circle for a while, they know that up until recently, I had the company logo, because Pages didn't exist when I joined. So obviously I wanted to get some brand awareness. But through Hangouts and Hangouts alone, I have become I wouldn't call myself a celebrity, but a recognized face. I've actually been walking down the street through some of the local universities and stuff, because we try to encourage them to work with us and do some volunteer work for their schools. And people have come up to me and said, "Hey, you're Doc Harvard." And I'm like, yeah, I am. And like, "I've got a book I've been trying to get published." I'm like, "Well, let's talk about it." Simply from Hangouts, because my face was not on my profile for the longest time. It was just a company logo. So you don't get that kind of recognition from a pamphlet. You don't get it from a business card. You don't get it from a Facebook account or anything like that. It's too impersonal. You get it from tools like Hangout and the opportunity to engage.
Ryan, do you have a story to share? Yeah, unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry, I just had to unmute myself. Yeah. Well, a friend of mine recommended Google Plus to me, and I was using Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, and I kind of shoved it off to the side, and I said, no, I just, there's another thing I can't keep up with. But anyway, he encouraged me, and I'm glad he did. I mean, it was a little scary at first. I was jumping into Hangout, just talking to people, and I'm pretty shy, so that was a little rough. But I got used to it. And then I thought, well, why don't I play music as a musician? And he encouraged me to do that, and it just kind of took off from there. I mean, I'm on Google Plus all the time, every day. I play Hangout concerts when I can, private or public. It's been an incredible. Absolutely incredible platform for my music. And
were you on Facebook before?
I am on Facebook, and I've done the same thing. I've posted something over there and something on here, the exact 30 seconds apart, and I mean it explodes on Google Plus, and I mean nobody touches it on Facebook.
Wow.
So.
Do you think that, in my mind, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, it's all about kind of like me kind of thing. Here's my business, here's my stuff, here's my new event, here's, and whereas Google Plus is actually more two-way communication.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's Facebook, in that sense, for me, in the music sense, is just, you throw things out there, and there really is no conversation. On G Plus, it's really wonderful. Just even the using G Talk and having one-on-one conversations with people. I use that all the time. Other musicians, and just it's just wonderful. Facebook. I don't want to pick on Facebook, but those are the two main things, two main social medias that I use. So.
And so, what happened to you since you started singing on Google Plus on Hangouts?
It's
like professionally.
Professionally, it's opened doors for me, considerably. So I mean, meeting other musicians, people wanting me to come play in their cities, in their homes. So it's been great.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I can't even imagine Daria Musk. I mean, I know her not well, but just I can't even imagine what she's going through. Just an incredible experience with her, I'm sure. And you know, other musicians that I'm friends with, Heather Faye and Kat Peach. You know, we're kind of all on the same level. We're starting out, but you know, it's just been great for us. And I'll shut up because I'm rambling on. But for musicians, it's wonderful. I mean, we can sing to the world, you know, with a push of a button. So you can't do that anywhere else.
Ryan, have you phoned anybody from inside a Hangout yet?
No. I don't like to talk on the phone.
It's funny because at the beginning, you know, people will be like, I don't want to have my face on video, and they rather use the phone. And now it's no, let's hang out. But
hey, Ryan.
Go ahead.
Ryan, I just wanted to say nice shirt.
Nice shirt? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got a good...
Hey, and also, Doc, I've got some interesting comparison for you as well. I found a post of my friends today. It was just an infographic on, you know, what the internet does in 1 minute, you know, the amount of data that's transferred on the internet. He shared that post and maybe got a couple different comments, and then I happened to grab it and pull it onto Google Plus, and today it just freaked out. I was on, what does it call it, the What's Hot list. I was at number 3 on the What's Hot list. I've never been there before. And so I think right now there's like 800 shares and a bunch of +1s and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's a comparison alone, that the same graphic that was on Facebook that, you know, hardly got any shares or any comments or anything like that just exploded on Google Plus, and I was just amazed by that today. One thing I wanted to ask Ryan, that's on the call, for your business, how are you generating leads through Google Plus?
Ryan said he's going to be right back.
I mean, not Ryan. I'm sorry, Randy.
No? Randy.
Okay. I just had to return with my mic there. As far as leads are concerned, I don't try to sell. I'm sure there's a couple people in here that have me in their circles, and I try to avoid selling on Google+. What we do is we drive traffic to the site, and then people put their email in, and we use the regular marketing techniques. And then, you know, it goes to the sales team. That's not my job to sell. I don't want to do that. I want to make Google Plus a place where I hang out and we get to know our customers.
That's perfect. That's
worked really well.
So what I meant by generating leads is you driving that traffic to your website, getting the sign up on a sign up form there.
Absolutely.
How are you getting that traffic to the website? What are the primary devices you're using?
I write articles. We do videos. We use YouTube. We do a lot of different things, and we load them to Dig, Delicious, all the different websites. And it comes from all over the place. And like I said earlier, I was going to send Eva and Doc my analytics so they could see, because we use everything. And it's really neat to see where everything's coming from. But Google Plus right now is definitely increasing every month just because the followership is increasing.
So out of all those networks, you're getting the most traffic from Google Plus?
No, Facebook still is the best for us.
Okay.
But Google Plus will be increasing. It's getting better and better all.
What would you say in comparison to Facebook right now, percentage-wise?
As far as driving traffic, I would say that Facebook's twice as good. And I only have probably 800 followers on Facebook. The graphs that we showed earlier, yes, and I agree that Google Plus is going to be better in the long term. But right now, Facebook does outperform.
And you're primarily doing that traffic on Facebook with articles and posts?
Yeah, articles and other blogs or pages that are on Facebook that I communicate with people on.
Cool.
And they click through and they come to our site. Because, and look at Facebook, you might post an article in 5 different places, where on Google Plus we're only posting it really on our one company page and maybe on our personal page.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question on the stream. Joshua is asking how to get relevant circles. He says he's getting better response on Facebook because all his content. Because no one circled him here on Google Plus, or nobody here really cares about his content.
Can I take that, Yvette?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is his content?
I don't know. Let's see.
First off, okay, he has to jump in with he has to jump in with both feet. You have to get out there and circle people first, respond to what's being said, and then people will respond to you. You can't just pop something up and expect everybody to run there just because you want them to. You have to show engagement. I think something that gave us a sort of a boost on Google Plus, and Brock, you know, from early on, we had talked about the fact that Google started without business, gave everybody sort of a chance, those of us that were there early, to get an idea of how do we really want to engage without even thinking about business. And I think by and large, that's the overall sort of leading edge here. This is, as Guy Kawasaki said, Facebook's for your friends and family. Google Plus is for your passion. This is where people are passionate. And that, loving anything, do that, everything else will follow.
Totally agree with you. And there's a few things on Joshua's website, on his profile. First of all, his profile is not filled. I'll share it here with you guys. Joshua, since you commented, now you're in the now you're in the news.
You brought this on, Joshua.
So he's into technology and extreme sport. So I think this will be, he can be very well talked about and get great conversation, like Elaine was saying. Fill up your profile, dude. What is it?
Also, if you look at just that tagline of technology and extreme sport enthusiasts, like what sticks out in your mind as far as what Joshua is all about? I don't know. If you're gonna have a tagline, you need to have one cohesive message, is what I believe. I mean, if you're a technology enthusiast, just be a technology enthusiast.
Well, I kind of like, Brock, though. I kind of like the mix of sports and technology. I think that's actually great for Google Plus. I think he just needs to really get in here and engage and tell us what that means.
I know, but like what I'm talking about in terms of a conversion, if someone's coming to your profile, you really have to think about it like a landing page. So if someone comes to your profile, you've got their attention from 3 to 7 seconds on the average internet user. So if they've got 3 seconds to judge you, what's the first thing you want in their mind? And it's got to be something that shows like what value you are to them. That's kind of the way I approach it.
I look at this and I see him like as an extreme sport. That's the one that jumped into my head, and because of the pictures and everything. Yeah. So then if I scroll down, he has a lot of videos and stuff, you know, about this extreme sport. So that can be kind of interesting. But like Elaine said, nobody will find you. Like I didn't find you. I only found you because now you commented on something that I do. Before that, I didn't even know you were following me. So you need to go out there, find the people who are talking about the stuff that you care about, and engage with them. Just like you did right now. You know, post, comment, share. You know, think about this like a salon party, right? You go in there and you're trying to make friends talking about what you have in common. And then if you find something in common, there's a conversation going on. And if there's nothing in common, then they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, Josh, that's the thing about Google Plus. It's different than any other venue. Is it's really not that difficult to find people who share your passion. So just go out there and start finding them, and guaranteed you'll start to engage with them, and then it'll snowball from there.
Absolutely. I mean, you can type it into the search, extreme sports enthusiasts, and you can find a bunch of people that have that somewhere on their about page or their profile. You can find those exact target people that share your enthusiasm or passion for something. That's the cool thing with Google Plus.
There's also the shared circles. So you might want to go there and find people that share your passion, add circles. You can add like 100, 500 people at one time. Follow what they're saying, and then you can segment them later, but you can find people in your own niche or interest and create conversations with them. So it's not about it. I don't know any other network where you just go in, open a profile, and something happens. Am I wrong, or?
No.
Or it happens somewhere else. You just like open a profile and everybody flocks to you.
You're right. You just have to. I think starting with these days, you just have to have a strategy, and then work your strategy.
And the strategy can be just making friends. It doesn't have to be business. It can just be finding great conversation, or like people.
Other sports enthusiasts can be your strategy, or other people who are interested in the mix of technology and sports enthusiasts, and then just make that your strategy and go for it.
Yeah, just have fun.
I think it needs to be using hashtags also. That's a quick way of gaining followers. I use that, and it helped me really well with my my business pages, like for pound gold, pound silver, and things like that. It brings them right to the business pages. It's a good way of doing it too.
I was going to say I actually have to have my circle count up because I've been working on the brand side of things, but I have my personal account up where I changed the way that I was engaging, and I'll go and do a quick screen share here. And there it is. Oh, nope, there it went. Okay. If you can see right here, we existed before, but we didn't have circle count engaged. This is just some mild sharing and stuff, and in February we decided to change the way that we were doing things, and you can see big, huge difference. We have a few spikes of people dropping off, but for the most part our retention is solid. Our growth is exponential now, and it's a combination of, we started a 2/3, 1/3, which is 2/3 engagement and 1/3 new content or curated content, and with hashtagging, start bringing people in. So as you can see, here's the evidence itself. By engaging, you gain followers. You gain people that will circle you and circle you back.
Hey Doc, can you explain or maybe give a little bit of detail on how you engaged?
Well, we tried several different models, and one was, from a pure business perspective, hey, this is what we're doing, and that type of stuff. And frankly, that bores me. And so I decided to adopt a completely different model, which was, I guess you'd call it half and half, silliness and reality. It was a combination of sharing pictures, making random observations. Like the other day I shared out that I was at a Chinese restaurant wearing a Doctor Who shirt, and a woman that was visiting from England happened to comment on it. That gained all sorts of wonderful stuff, and even got a couple of new people to circle me. And then the people who actually have associated me with 42WD watch to see how we respond to people who have questions, and we get dragged into conversations all the time, both as a brand page and as my personal page, about different opinions on the big six of publishing and how indie authors can go about doing stuff, and we respond. And we actually go out and do some searching for, if it's slow time in our streams, about what's going on the things that we care about. We hop on search and go dig the stuff up. And I mean, as you guys saw, that resulted in an exponential increase in people that are circling you back. So it works out well. I mean, hashtagging for anything that we want people to be able to find easy, that we group up. We actually use a bit of, if you've ever seen any of my streams, we use some alt characters to help us stand out a little bit better. Whenever we can find a relevant image that, sometimes it's even cat images. We all know cat images are going to win. We try to find a relative image to what we're talking about, or even if it's a funny image about it, and attach that, and then resharing. We're all about resharing people that we've developed strong relationships with on here, and people that have those people circled see us helping them out and circle us, and then they start going, oh, well, we're actually interested in what you guys are talking about. So it's think of it like this. GooglePlus is meant to emulate what you do in real life. So do what you do in real life on GooglePlus, and it works out well.
Another thing that I like about what you just said, Doc, is that this takes a lot of pressure off of you if you don't have to continuously come up with new content. If you take and reshare someone else's content and just add your 2 cents to it, then you can have a wonderful conversation, happening just on your own post and your own ideas of that. And like Randy was saying, you can really position yourself as the expert in your niche by giving your opinion to what other people are saying. So content creation is pretty hard. It takes a lot of time, creativity, work. And Brock, actually, what happened to you today is you worked on a PowerPoint presentation, right? And while you were working on actually educating your stream, you threw something else out there, and that became, that got the what's hot list. And what you were working on didn't get as much engagement. So sometimes you never know where it's going to happen, but like if you just make it fun and relax and share other people and, compliment other people and engage with them, I think it'll be much easier and a lot more enjoyable.
Congratulations, Brock.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. I'm wondering though, with that one thing that did take off, and the other thing that I shared, if I'd like to look at some data as far as if you have one thing that goes off and gets hot, does that kind of overshadow in terms of what gets pulled into people's streams? Does that kind of overshadow something else? And yeah, I definitely saw that result today. It's something that I put 3 hours of time into yesterday, creating that PowerPoint slideshow thing, and then just a graphic that I happened to share on Google Plus this morning completely took off. So yeah, I definitely need to research that a little bit more.
You know what? I think Brock, I think it's all about what goes viral, and sometimes you just have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to go viral and what'll take off. And like you said, you put 3 hours or more of work into something and think, wow, this is really good. People are going to love this. And then in 2 seconds, you shared something and like, wow.
It's interesting for sure. I definitely know that Google Plus for photographs, obviously the photographer industry is just having a heyday here on Google Plus. So photos, just because of this environment that Google has created, where we have these these big images that show up on our screen, it's an awesome platform for photography, but also using infographics in your posts. Those are the types of things that can really take off and go viral, as I witnessed personally today.
Well, the thing that I actually particularly enjoy about Google Plus actually has nothing to do with photography. I mean, there's photography and stuff in there. It obviously lends itself to that, but there's so many micro communities out there that exist. Several that we're working with who have opted into a project that we're currently building called the Creative Resource Center. And it's specifically designed to cater towards, if I had to put a generic name on it, it's like Wikipedia for creatives. And it's a massive project, and honestly, with the manpower and the women power and the computer power that we had available to us, we were slowing down on it big time because it was so huge. But we were talking about it and what we wanted to do, and one person heard somebody else talking about it and go, hey, you need to talk to Doc Harvard about it. We started talking to that person, and they're like, well, hey, I know some other people who are working on something similar, and we currently have 8 micro communities. And even a smaller version of one of our competitors, we're all working together to bring this creative Wikipedia into being. And the only reason why it's as far along as it is because one person said, "Hey, Doc's working on this. Let's bring him in." And then the other person said, "Hey, this is a good idea. I know some other people." And these communities, which are huge in their own right, but aren't necessarily getting the kind of exposure that the photography people are out there, and they exist, and they have different pieces of ideas, but maybe not everybody has all the resources that need to be. Like we have the web space and the URLs and the technical knowledge to put this thing together, but we don't have the time to create all the content. And obviously we don't necessarily know how to knit, or maybe we don't know how to do photography at the same level as some of the photography community does, or the music community and that type of stuff. And these micro communities are coming in, and these leaders of these micro communities are joining up with us to help us start putting together content, and so that we can combine their content and our technical knowledge to create this overall better product. and it's a free product that everybody's going to be able to use.
What's beautiful about what you just said is that it's not competition, it's actually collaboration. And I think that's what Google Plus really brings together. It's like all these people with shared passion that want to create something together. It's kind of like a huge open source. And somehow, like Google, hopefully, you know, it's free and we make billions in the process, right? So
yeah.
That's the goal. So I'm just going to ask everybody that's watching it to please +1 the video so we'll know how many people watched it. If you have more questions for any of us, then just, you know, put them in the stream and anyone here can answer them. And if there are anything else that you haven't that you want to discuss, then let us know. And I'm going to thank everyone on this Hangout. It's been great. Hope this is the results that you wanted to hear. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
Plug for Thursday?
Yes, Thursday we're having actually a business tax CPA who's going to talk about how to set up your business online and what are the things that you need to pay attention to. Rob Saltzar, I believe his name is. So Thursday, 3 p.m. Right here, again on the stream, where we're going to give you some business advice.
Will that be specific to the U.S., you thought?
I can find out.
Okay, thanks.
Probably. I think
that's what I figured. But
you know, it may be specific to the U.S., but oftentimes these types of tips are valuable wherever you're.
Some of them, but we have some very weird rules up here.
Yeah, most CPAs in the U.S. usually do take in Canadian business as well, so lots of tips for that.
Yeah. I won't be able to make it if it's so. Post the link, please, and I'll watch it Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah, Kim Roach, I know of her. I'd love to talk to you later, Randy.
No problem. Let me know.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
Scott. Nice to see everybody.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day and superb haircut, Scott. Love it.
Thank you.
All right, Josh.